Hey guys, this is Kurtang, and today we're going to be doing a little bit different of a thing. We're going to be going over a guide to Hearthstone for beginners. So the first thing I want to cover is what is Hearthstone? Hearthstone is Blizzard Entertainment's newest trading card game. It's all online, and the basics of the game is where you pick a hero, one of 9 as you can see here on the screen now, and you build a 30 card deck built around them. So first we're going to cover which are the heroes that you can play from. First there's the Warrior, the Shaman, the Rogue, the Paladin, the Hunter, the Druid, the Warlock, the Mage, and the Priest. Each one of these 9 heroes has their own specific class ability, which we'll get into later, and each one plays very similarly to how they play in World of Warcraft. A Warrior is more brute and more straightforward, whereas a Rogue can use more direct damage and sneak around a little bit more. Priests heal pretty well, and Mages have a lot of tricks up their sleeve with secrets, polymorphs, and fireballs. So for the next part of this video, we're going to show how to create a deck and get into the first piece of gameplay. So for this video, and for the general purposes, we're going to be picking the Warrior. So let's choose the Warrior and move right into deck creation. As you can see from the beginning, the Warrior has a set page of specific cards built just for that class. So we're going to pick a few cards and begin building our 30 card deck. Now if you notice, each one has a ×2, or some will have a ×1 next to their name. This means how many cards do you have in your personal inventory. Just like other trading card games, you need the cards to build the deck. So you are able to unlock cards within Hearthstone, and when doing so, you're able to then put them into the deck. Now, if you notice, we can't ever have more than 2 cards in the deck. Each deck is roughly 30 cards deep, and with that being said, you can't have 4, 6, or 10 of any specific card. 2 is the max limit. So now we're going to fill out the rest of the deck after we've put in our specific Warrior cards with just other cards that we think will benefit the deck. So with Warriors being high damage and quick hitters, we're going to throw in some charge creatures, which we'll get into later, along with some bigger and stronger creatures towards the end. Now as you can see down here in the bottom right hand corner, we're 18 of 30 total cards within the deck. So we want to fill this up to 30, being semi-correct on our choices. So we're going to pick just a few more and round out our deck. We're not doing this in any specific order right now, we just want to get into the purpose. When we're done, we can choose to name the Warrior deck whatever we want, so we'll just call it the Wild Warrior deck for now. We will then hit enter, save the name, and we will click done. Upon doing this, it will be shown up under My Decks, which then you can click on to edit at any time or delete if you feel necessary. Alright, so we're going to get right back into it. Now that we've created our deck, we're going to go back to the main screen and we're going to hit play. Once play loads, we're then going to be able to see all of our decks that we've created. So for ours, we're going to go and click on the Wild Warrior. Once we've selected the Wild Warrior, we're going to be able to hit play. Before we do that, I want to address in the top right corner your ranking. At this spot, you can either choose to play an unranked mode, which doesn't increase or decrease your rank via wins or losses. And 2, if you click to go into ranked mode, it will tell you your rank. So right now, we are a 2-star Platinum Medal, and by winning games we'll advance to a 3-star Platinum level and up through the other rankings to play harder level opponents. So we're going to hit play. And right now Blizzard is searching everybody in Hearthstone right now in order to find somebody of our equal rank so we can play and it'll be a fair enough game. Now sometimes when less people are on, there'll be much greater of a disparity between ranks. However, for the most part, each game seems to be pretty even when it comes down to skill level or just deck size. So now that we're going to get in, the first part of every game is drawing your hand. It will assess who's going to go first and who's going to go second. As you can see, we are going to be going first this game. During the starting hand, you can either choose to keep or replace any of the cards in your hand. By clicking on the cards, we're going to be able to make them replaced or not. It's generally a good rule of thumb that you want to keep lower mana cost cards early in the game. So as you can see, where my mouse cursor is circling right now, this 0 is mana crystals, so it's very low cost. So is this 2. 7, on the other hand, is 7 turns into the game. So we're going to replace that card for now and hit confirm. Once we're into the game, you can see that it is our turn, which is addressed right in the middle, and we actually drew the same card that we got rid of. However, down here in the bottom right hand corner, it shows you how many mana crystals you have for the turn. Right here is also your life total. As you can see the blood drop. When the blood drop hits 0, you lose the game. Right here is your hero class ability. For the Warriors, it's an ability that costs 2 mana crystals, as you can see, and it says gain 2 armor for 2 mana. Not a bad ability, not my favorite, but it works. So when we don't have anything to play, we're going to hit end turn. Alright, now at this point in the video I want to pull back away from the video game of playing and go right into a little bit of the spells abilities or cards abilities available in Hearthstone. First, we're going to start off with the first card, and it's called Battle Cry. Battle Cry, as you can see right here, we can zoom in on it. Deal 1 damage. Battle Cry is the effect that occurs when you summon your creature. So just as we summoned our War Axe in the previous game, if we were to summon a creature, the Battle Cry effect takes effect immediately. In similar fashion, the ability called Charge, which the Stone Tusk Boar has, allows your minion to attack immediately. Minions, when they come into play, usually are gifted with Summoning Sickness. Summoning Sickness means they're needing a turn before they can attack. This Charge ability allows them to be ready to attack immediately. Past that, there are several other abilities. One of the most important, is called Taunt. Taunt makes it so the enemy player cannot directly attack your hero, and none of their minions can directly attack your hero until every creature with Taunt is taken off the board. Taunt is one of the most powerful mechanics and needs to be utilized very well in every deck in order to be effective. Other abilities such as spell damage are pertinent to only certain classes and certain abilities. The Mage and Warlock and Priest benefit greatly from spell damage, just as you would imagine they would in World of Warcraft. Spell damage for certain spells causes each damage point to increase, and I'll show that here in the next few cards. So we're going to move over to the Mage tab, and as you can see, this card, deal 3 damage randomly split among enemy characters. If there's a creature with spell power down on the board, this 3 damage will become 4 damage, allowing it to be added by 1 spell damage, the same as the card initiated. Now as we flip through to find just a few more, one of the other specific, effects you would call them, is Death Rattle. Death Rattle is an ability upon the death of your minion or creature. Death Rattle, for this Harvest Golem, summons a 2/1 damage golem. The damaged part means that the golem is already classified as being hit by another minion. The reason this is a negative effect is because some classes, such as the Warrior, can kill damaged minions immediately, and other cards won't work on damaged minions immediately either. So it's a give and take on what you want to take away from it. As we flip through just a few more, there are also double spell or effect cards. This Azure Drake, for example, has spell damage +1 and Battle Cry, which is draw a card. Drawing cards in Hearthstone, since you only have 30, is very important. As we flip through, the final one is just a general spell. This spell takes effect when the card enters the field, but then is not used up. Battle Cries are used up only when they occur on entry. Other spells, such as the Stormwind Champion, sit throughout the remainder of the Stormwind Champion being on the board. For example, your other minions have +1/+1. And now later in the video, we're going to get into parts of seeing each one of these in action. Alright, now for this section of the video, what we're actually going to do is we're going to go directly into a full game and just use what we've learned and see if we can actually squeak out a win or anything. So this starting hand seems to be very good, very low mana cost creatures in each piece. So we're just going to confirm the hand and move on. Now that we did go first, we did not benefit from the mana crystal, which I would hope to have shown you, and I will show you after this piece or before this piece. I don't remember which way they're going to be laid in the video. So it's our first turn. We are going to drop a 1/1 Elvish Archer down with a Battle Cry. Remember, when it comes into play, it deals 1 damage. So we're going to do that damage directly to the enemy garage. Then we're going to end our turn. Now during this time, we can talk about the length of turns. A lot of turns, as that one was very short, because he doesn't have a lot to play. Other turns, it'll go very long, and towards the end of the turn, you'll see a ticker pop up, and it'll slowly burn all the way down, and we'll see if we can show you that a little later, until it reaches the end. If it is to reach the end, then it will cause your next turn to be a little bit shorter, so you need to be wary of how long you're making your opponent wait. So for this turn, we're just going to drop our 2/1 with Charge down so he can attack immediately. This is going to allow us to do 3 damage directly to the enemy garage, and then we are going to end our turn. For the other cards we have in our hand, we have an Ironbeak Owl, which its battle cry silences a minion. Silence is an ability that's very effective. It causes whatever is on the enemy text. For example, this card has Frothing Berserker. Whenever a minion takes damage, gain +1 attack. So for that, we're going to actually silence it. By silencing it, when this comes into play, we're going to select the enemy creature, and that ability is actually going to be wiped away. As you can see, it is now just a simple 2/4. So with that being done, we're going to still attack Garrosh directly. We could choose to attack the enemy minion, but instead we're just going to hit him for the extra bit of damage. The enemy Garrosh did summon a weapon, similar to what we could do, and now he chose to attack our minion directly, just as we did in the previous clip. Now what we are going to be able to summon is, because we have 4 mana crystals, we can choose to summon any one of these creatures besides the one with 5, obviously. And I think for the best bet right now, we're going to actually summon... We are going to summon this Ironforge Rifleman. When the Ironforge Rifleman comes into play, we're going to have him do his 1 damage directly to Garrosh, because our Ironbeak Owl is going to be able to attack and kill the enemy Frothing Berserker. So now we are going to just end our turn and give it over to him. One of the key concepts that you want to keep in mind during Hearthstone is board control is very essential. It's a big part of the game, and you want to make sure you're always the one with more minions out or doing more damage. So that was a good play by him. He was able to play his 4/3 for 4 with charge. Now it's our turn, and I think we are going to end up playing our Stormpike Commander. Now we are going to have our Stormpike Commander do 2 damage, which is his battle cry, directly to Garrosh, because if the Kron Elite is going to attack us, he's going to end up killing himself because we do 4 damage to his 3 defense. Well, he will kill us. It will be an even trade, and I don't mind that right now. So let's end the turn and give it over to the enemy Garrosh. Now, we are going to use this turn. I believe what I think will be the best bet is we're going to drop our Murloc down. Yep, we're going to drop our Murloc down, do 2 damage directly to Garrosh. Then we're going to drop down Heroic Strike. Heroic Strike gives our Garrosh 4 damage, and we're going to do that directly to the enemy Garrosh. And then since we have 2 mana crystals left, we're going to armor up. After that, we're going to end our turn and see what he has in play. Okay, now this turn, since we have 7 mana, what we're going to do is we're going to drop down a 5 mana cost 4/5. That is going to heal our Garrosh by 2 health. That was the battle cry on this one. And then we're going to drop down our 1. Now, our 1 has charge, so we're going to immediately hit his, I forget what it is called, his Arathi Weaponsmith. His Arathi Weaponsmith has already been damaged by 2, so with only having 1 damage to be done, we're going to be able to finish her off even though she has 3 attack as well. Then we're going to hit end turn, and we're going to hand it back over to him. Now this Gurubashi Berserker, which he has down on the field, has very interesting characteristic. It has, whenever this minion takes damage, gain +3 attack. So by hitting ours, 4/2, he's actually going to be able to pump his own creatures into a 6/3. His Raid Leader, which he just also placed down, is also going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to us. But I think we're going to be alright. We're going to play down our Warsong Commander, which gives all of our other minions charge, which allows them to attack on the first turn. And then we're actually going to play Charge, which is a 0 mana cost, and it gives a friendly minion charge. This is going to allow us to do 6 damage directly to him this turn, and it's going to allow us to armor up. The reason I chose to do the damage directly to him is it puts him within kill range. Next turn, we are going to be able to kill him unless he picks off our creatures, which I presume he will do. So now, as you can see, he did manage to play a creature with Battle Cry, which gives his adjacent minions +1/+1 and Taunt. So now both of these creatures have Taunt, which means I won't be able to attack him directly until I kill either one of these creatures. we are going to play this down because we don't have much else of a move, and we're going to destroy the character with 9 health, as it was very daunting. Then we're going to armor up, and we're going to have to pass the turn. The game is going to get into its later stages. As you can see, we're already on turn 9, and he's on turn 8. So by giving him this, it will reach his 9th turn, and our turn will be 10th after that, filling up our mana crystal bar. Once mana crystal bar is filled, you can no longer gain any extra mana crystals, but each turn will still have the 10 mana crystals that you were given at the start. So in this game, it doesn't look like we're doing very well. It looks like he is actually possibly not going to be able to kill us this turn, but he will be able to kill us the following turn after that. We are going to armor up, and then we're going to play our heroic strike for the end, and we're going to do the damage directly. As you can see, we cannot do it directly to him, as I forgot even. We have to do it to one of his taunt creatures. This is the power of taunt, because as I'd like to hit him and do 4 damage to him, bringing him down to only 2 life, I'm not able to. So I am going to hit his raid leader with 3, but that is probably going to be the game for us. Is if we end the turn, he's just going to be able to attack us right through. There's nothing else we can do, and this is just a loss. And this is one of the many that you will experience through the beginning parts of Hearthstone. It's not a big deal. You just got to go back and rework your deck. So as you can see, we are now at -2. We've lost all 30 life, and the game is over. So it'll give us our little tab up right here. It'll tell you the experience in which you've leveled up your hero, and if it is one of the first times, as you just saw us do, when we click to continue, it'll give you 2 cards. Every hero has 10 levels before their starter deck is complete. By completing the starter deck, you will unlock all 20 of the basic cards. As you can see from my priest deck, I have unlocked all of the basic, along with my hunter deck. I'm still working on my paladin deck. I have 2 more basic cards to be earned, along with my rogue deck. I still have 2 to be earned as well. So my warrior is just the next one in a long line. So I hope for anybody who's just coming into Hearthstone and learning the game for the first time, this guide was quite helpful. I really do. So if you've enjoyed the guide, please like, favorite, and even subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more Hearthstone. I'm going to be posting quite frequently. And until next time, guys, Kurtank out.